Bible told us in the very beginning that we're going to leave Cleave and become one. And nobody took the time out to really look and see what that cleaving process looked like. I'm going to do a video and I'm just going to talk about the cleaving process, because what I want you to understand is that, man, we understand leaving home and you know, you leave mom and dad and man, you cling to your spouse. We understand that part. That makes sense to us. And we can somewhat understand that becoming one process where, you know, well, man, you know, we're going to become one. We're going to be one team. And we can somewhat understand it. We don't fully understand become one, because most of the time, you know, we don't get to death do us part. But we can understand the concept. But what I do know is that phase of that cleaving phase, we don't understand it. We're going to talk about it in another video. But what I will say is that cleaving process is a violent process. It's a cutting away of the flesh process. And God is simply saying that in order for you to become one, Eric, I'm going to have to cut some things away from you. You know, if you look at the word cleave, it's where you get I wish I had my meat cleaver. Because it's a process where God literally takes a meat cleaver and he starts cutting away at your flesh. And the only thing we know is that it hurts like crap. And God said that in order for you to become as one, I look at it like this. I look at it like right now, you know, man, this it's just me and you. You ain't really boxing, but it's just me and you. But see, this is that process of where we're becoming as one. And then God pulls out that cleaver and he starts cutting away at our flesh. And then all of a sudden, you know, we just start gelling as one. And see, this is that companionship. This is where I'm dreaming at. This is where I can't wait to get it. This is the place where, man, y'all just holding hands. Maybe, you know, you're 70, 80 years old and you just taking your sweetheart and you taking a walk in the park. See, how many of you guys out there just this, you know, maybe you're in your 40s and your 30s and you're just thinking about that companionship, you know, where you just walk in the park. You see, you know, you're not gonna get there, you know, unless you learn how to lean, you know, just lean in the curve. And then, you know, but I really want to talk to my babies out there. I want to talk to my sons and my daughters out there. I mean, because you got so much, you're so excited and you got so much high hope. And I know, you know, man, I've been there with you. I know what it feels like. And I want you to know that, man, life is going to bring you a lot of curves. Relationships is going to be, you know, man, you know, you're going to marry your sweetie, man, that's going to be great. But those curves are going to come. God told us they was coming. He called it the cleaving process. Man, that process is going to hurt. But understand, man, if you can learn how to master leaning in the curve, man, see, some people have to get those phases and you know, they start out in love and then they divorce their lover because they get into that money part and you know, they get into a curve and then all of a sudden they derail and the next time they want to get the only thing that they're thinking about when they get on that second marriage is, man, he's gonna have to have money, she's gonna have to have money. Man, it's a reason why. It's a reason why, you know, you're gonna focus on a lot of the reasons why you focus on the money is because you just came from a divorce and you're trying to rebuild. I understand that. Man, I'm trying to rebuild some things. There were some things that I lost during that process. And so now that I'm in this second phase, man, you know, so the only thing I'm thinking about is that, man, I'm going to have to marry somebody with some money. So, man, he's going to have to be a partner. She's going to have to be a financial partner. I can't do it all like I did it with the one that I married for love. That was the only thing that we needed. That's the only thing we talked about was how much love we was, but we ran into a curve, and then now all of a sudden, man, we divorced, and then now we come to the second phase, and man, all you thinking about is, man, I gotta marry somebody to help me out financially. It's all about the money. I ain't saying it's wrong. I'm just explaining it to you. You gotta understand why you 40 and you 50 years old, and all you thinking about is the money. It's just a natural phase that you're in. And then you know, when that relationship don't work, now you in your 60s, your 70s, and the only thing you're talking about, man, you just want somebody to grow old with. Man, I just want somebody to get through this life with. You ain't worried about the love, you ain't worried about money. You know that whatever it's gonna be, it's gonna be. Man, you know, if you ain't built a dynasty, trust me, you know, at that point you're done. There is no more, you know, getting up early doing Facebook Lives. There ain't no more great ideas, man. You pretty much done. You understand it. Maybe you talking to your kids, or more likely your grandkids, about, you know, you know making it big. Maybe you having that conversation with them, but you know your time is done, and all you want to do is just walk in the park with your sweetie. That's all you're thinking about at that point. And see, the way that I explained it, so you're going to understand it, I explained it in a way to where if you didn't get it, I'm going to help you now. This process can be experienced by that same spouse when you was in your 20s. And then y'all go through your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Then all of a sudden you really experience what it means to become as one. You say, Eric, how can you identify becoming as one? Most people don't get there. I'm gonna be honest with you. But if you ever had known a situation where somebody said, you know, the husband died, and then, you know, a couple of days later the wife died, or, you know, wife died, and a couple of days later the husband died. I said that's the true meaning of becoming as one, because they lived this life on this dispensation. They lived it together, and they just simply decided that life has no purpose without their sweetie. You know, so they just allowed themselves to go on to glory. See, that's the truth. And I'm not saying that nobody, you know, that, hey, well, if she lived another 5 years after, I'm not saying that she didn't love him. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that is where the trueness of becoming one. Man, I don't have a purpose without you. You know, so that can be done with the same purpose, with the same person. I'm sorry. It can be done with the same person. But if you got divorced, and so, you know, people say, well, maybe you got divorced once, and then you experienced that with your second. You know, you went through the money phase, and you're now in the companionship phase, and that's great. I mean, God bless you. And maybe you got divorced twice. Maybe, you know, your first one didn't work, then the second one didn't work, but now you married the third time, and trust me, I don't care how old you are. If you done got divorced 3 times and you really was putting everything that you had into this, your mentality is not the same. Your mentality is not the same. I know it's not 100%, but I do know that you're thinking about, man, I don't want to do this again. You know, I want to get married, and I just want somebody to spend my life with.